Welcome to another episode of Show Me the Firo, where we're joined by our special guest, Diego. We're going to be talking about the Stack Wallet. But first up, Diego, if you'd like to introduce yourself and tell us about your company and how you've interacted with Firo thus far.
Yeah, hello everybody. My name is Diego Salazar, often known in the crypto communities as Rehrar, Rehrar. And I have been chilling with Firo for a couple of years now. At first, I was hardcore Monero guy, still contribute to Monero, still like Monero a lot. I met Reuben at one of the DEF CON villages that I ran for Monero, where he gave a presentation. And he was talking about how Zcoin got exploited, Zcoin being obviously Firo's old name, and just how they dealt with that. And it was such a humble talk that, just really, it didn't shy away from the dirty issues. And I was like, wow, like, these guys, they are upfront about, like actually making things secure when things went bad. Like, how do we make it better? And so I just went and started talking to Reuben. I'm like, hey, bro, I really liked your talk, and just kept in touch after that. And I ended up working on various things for Firo over these past couple of years. Probably the biggest one way back in the day was I did the rebrand from Zcoin to Firo. So if any of you are upset at Reuben for that name change, you can come blame me. You're wrong and you're stupid. But I have explained all that in another video that's on Firo's YouTube channel about why that name was changed and why Firo is so much better. And so that was a big one. I've also done the website, my little company, CipherStack, which is a blockchain development, infrastructure, research, et cetera, has been closely connected with Firo, offering research services, working on the website, infrastructure over these past many, many months. Firo is probably one of my favorite coins out there, just has a huge passion for privacy research, which is so big to me, because privacy is it's a cat and mouse game. You're never done with privacy. As soon as you make a really good protocol or anything, like, technology advances and maybe that protocol gets easier to break, so you have to keep going and keep researching. So to me, like, the privacy projects that are actually worthwhile are the ones that do continued research, the ones that kind of like put out a protocol and it's one and done. They're like, this is it, this is what we have, and a few years later, what have you done? Oh, well, we still have that one thing. Okay, well, in this arms race that is privacy, you're losing, and so Firo's commitment to research and, the upcoming Atlantis Spark, which is super, super cool. I'm so thrilled about that, and just couldn't be happier to be where the research is.
Wow, that was quite a long history. Excellent.
I can go. I'm known for my rants.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
sorry.
quite impressive. That's quite impressive. Alrighty. Well, first of all, what we want to talk about today is we've got a great wallet that's just been released. I tested it out a month or two ago, and I tested it out again today. And it's called
both times you got errors.
I did get errors, but luckily it works okay. It's just restoring a wallet is I got an error on this last time, but other than that, it works great. But no, seriously, it is actually a very nice wallet. It's a nice, clean interface. If I could design it myself, it'd be very similar. It's there's nothing that's distracting. It's just a very simple, elegant, and intuitive interface. So whoever did that did a good job. Who did that, Diego?
That'd be me. That'd be me and my wife. We're the design team.
Oh, right, okay. Well, yeah, it's very good. I like them. I'm a minimalist person myself, and it's timeless because it never goes out of fashion. It's just forever. And I will say it's I've tried out the anonymity features with Firo, which is one of the few wallets that do support Firo's privacy features. There are a couple of others, Campfire, but it's not a multi-coin wallet unlike this one. The
Campfire is also made by us. Let me go ahead. We actually haven't even name dropped the wallet yet. We've just been dancing around like we have this cool wallet thing. The wallet is called Stack Wallet, and yeah, one of the first coins, in fact, the very first coin that it supported is Firo. And we really wanted to do our best to give Firo a fair shake at excellent user experience. Not to say that your guys' wallets are bad. They're actually,
no,
I
the
would say
user
pretty.
experience is bad.
No, it is. It was.
They're pretty above average, which says a lot about how bad most cryptocurrency wallets are.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, like that's kind of why I started Stack Wallet to begin with, because I love I love privacy coins, man. Monero, Firo, and I'm just like super bummed that so many wallets are just too scared to put in Monero, or they'll put Firo in but only have the transparency stuff, and I'm just like, man, like where's the wallet for me? Right?
Yeah.
Like, where's the wallet that has a beautiful user experience, that is open source? That's huge, man. Most multi-coin wallets, Exodus, Trust Wallet, they're all either closed source or only like partially open source. And when you start looking at the parts that are, they're, the parts that not the critical parts are not open source, which is really frustrating. And it's a super naive business decision. I get it, because they're like, oh, people are just going to fork the wallet, and if we do great work, then they're just going to, what's to stop a person with infinitely more resources than me just from forking our great wallet and making something
accelerating
better. Yeah. Not even making it better, because we're the best in the space. But just marketing it beyond what I can and stuff. Yeah. But I gotta walk the walk, man. I'm an open source guy, and I wanted to see an open source thing, and I wanted to see the privacy coins get their fair shake, and so I decided to make it myself. Me and the Cypher Stack team, we sat down and we said, okay, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna do it? And we pushed it out. We're still in open beta. So we've been trying to exit open beta for a long time, but the bugs, they keep a coming. So as Fiendish had, a few errors with Firo as well, we're going to be taking a look into those. But the wallet is very functional. There's, a few hiccups here and there, but even with the hiccups, we've been getting a lot of comments that it's still, far and away just the cleanest, most fluid, easy to use thing that we have so far. In the space, really. Yeah,
it is for Firo. I will say, I told Lucas in Reuben the other day, I frequent a forum called Olorilla.com, and there's a guy on there called Malden, and what he does is for the Hackintosh community. I'm not sure if you've heard of those, Diego. Mm-hmm. So I built myself a Hackintosh recently, and the guy called Malden on there will write you a custom DST if you send him a tip. And he's got like, PayPal, etc., and Bitcoin. And what I did is I asked him if he'd accept Firo. And I sent him a link to the Stack wallet on the App Store. And he said, yeah, he downloaded it. And then it sent me an address, and I sent him the money. And it was, simple, easy way to onboard someone.
Yeah.
And that's what Firo has been sorely missing, is just an easy, accessible way to onboard.
And it goes beyond that, because especially when you're dealing with cryptocurrency people, both old and new, you find that more and more people like to hold several different coins. And I know on my desktop I do have the standalone Firo wallets, the standalone Monero wallets, a standalone Bitcoin wallet, and it's just so many applications.
Yeah.
It's so much, and it's just like it'd be super cool to just have something where I could just keep all the things that I like, all in one place. So that was a big drive and motivator for me. I basically built this wallet for myself. I was like, I really need this to exist in my life, so I'm gonna make this. And I'm really glad that people are enjoying it. It's tough being an idealistic businessman. It's tough being a person who's, trying to make some money. And Firo can relate, because Firo, they walk the walk in terms of not doing scammy things and, doing things the right way. And, the price isn't where everyone wants it to be, and people scream and cry at every little, thing going wrong. But, Firo just keeps walking that walk of doing things correctly. And it, you don't always win. You don't always win for being a good guy, but so fingers crossed that that's not going to be the case with Stack Wallet.
Well, this is part of the foundation, though, really, of these two projects, that they add value to each other.
Right.
Yeah,
and absolutely.
It's because I'd been like moaning at Reuben for a while about the lack of mobile wallet, and just like because I was talking about trying to like there's like use the CFC to like trying to fund a wallet and stuff. And he didn't give me any details, but obviously he knew there was like plans in the works. So he's like shut me down straight away. I was like, oh, okay, there's something coming. But no, I was glad that once I finally saw Stack Wallet, because it was kind of a surprise to me. You kind of you sent me a message saying, "Oh, got this new wallet," and I didn't really want to go check it out. I was like, all right, I'll go and check it out. And I was like, oh, it's nice, simple, clean. I like this, and it's multi-coin, because that's the other thing. Like I asked first, is it a multi-coin wallet? Because like you say, I don't want to download a wallet for every damn coin. So no, it's multi-coin. I will say, I'll go over the coins that it currently supports. It's obviously Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Dogecoin, Epic Cash, Firo, Litecoin, Monero, Namecoin, and WoW Nero. I guess we're still missing Ethereum. That should be on there at some point, I'm guessing.
That's a pretty high priority. Just because Ethereum is huge across the space, but I just wanted to make sure all those privacy coins were in there first.
Yeah,
just
I appreciate that, because I'm pretty sure Ethereum's going to make its way there at some point in some other probably big coins. But that's.
And it's just been getting pushed back because we've been doing so much work. We're quite a small team, but we've been accomplishing a lot, just with ourselves. For example, tonight, right after we're done recording this, I can go ahead and send you guys a alpha build of the desktop wallet, which is, it's Linux only right now. It's Linux only. I
can't take part.
But Windows is coming. Mac is already working, but we plan to distribute it through the App Store, and we don't want it to push it live because there could still be some bugs. But so right now it's the alpha, and I'm more than happy to on this call, off the call, I don't know if I can share my screen or whatever, but like go over the desktop, and it's just as good, man. I'm so proud of how it turned out. Okay, I have high standards, and like the mobile wallet's really great, and but the desktop, oh goodness.
So
goodness is fantastic.
I'm assuming then what I can do is have, for instance, like my seeds, my wallets, like on my phone and the desktop, and they'll play nice together and stuff.
Oh, that first interoperability is really tough because there's several ways to do it, and none of them are very privacy protecting except for one. So if I want my mobile wallets to be syncing up with a desktop wallet, one way is that Stack Wallet runs a server. We run a server, and like we interface and make sure that everything talks to each other. Your mobile phone talks to your computer, just because it's easy routing. This is the way most people go. It's just the easiest one, and it just works. The issue is then we pretty much have an idea of who is using our wallets, which IP addresses, how, when, where, why. And we don't want that information, just from a legal law perspective.
You could be subpoenaed for that now.
For sure.
Yeah.
And just like all the money I'd have to put in to make sure it's secure. We don't want it for that reason, and we don't want it for privacy reasons. Like, I don't want your stuff, man. Like, keep it to yourself. So the other way to do it is P2P. Your phone has to connect directly to your desktop, to your computer, and sync that way, which, is fine if you have, USB connections and stuff, which, some people might, but we want it to be as simple as, scanning the QR code, and then all of a sudden you can establish P2P connections with that on demand. There is really cool open source technology that does that. Like there's a project called SyncThing, and that's basically what it does. So we're looking at what it would take to integrate SyncThing into Stack Wallet, so that way you those can be interoperable. So for now, it's not going to be, but you can have the same seeds on the desktop and on the mobile phone, and if you send from one, it should reflect the stuff in the other. So
yeah. Well, that's really all I need, look, is because I have this seed that I had this bug on, but I have it on like multiple devices.
Sure.
On like loads, and so I'm not sure whether maybe that was what's causing some of this bug. I'm not sure, but that was the only thing it wasn't doing, is it was not reflecting the correct amount occasionally when I sent it from a different wallet.
Yeah,
not the Stack wallet. It worked fine with the Stack wallet, but if I send it the same seed from a different wallet, and that was what was causing.
Yeah, and there may still be a couple of idiosyncrasies with that, and if so, we'll catch them and iron those out. But again, this is the wallet. The mobile wallet is in beta. The desktop is going to be in alpha, so we're still very early stages.
Yeah.
But we're thrilled with how everything's going.
Well, so the question would be then, when are you expecting the Windows version to be an alpha?
Ooh, okay. Fingers crossed within a week. We are on the last linking portion on the technological back end, the very last hurdle, we hope, fingers crossed, to getting that Windows thing to build. It's proving to be a doozy, but we are making headway every day, mostly making headway by seeing what things it is not, rather than seeing which things it is, which it can be an infinite amount of not things. But yeah, really, really hoping to get it out within a week.
Oh, wow.
And potentially even sooner.
Well, even if you said a month, I would have been like, oh, that's still pretty impressive. So a week gives you, that's not bad.
A week from recording, which is November 19th. I don't know.
You should have said it was December 19th. Oh, dear.
Yeah, I don't know how long it takes you guys to edit and put these out, but just,
really long.
People watching are just like, wait a second, it's been an alpha for weeks now.
I just have one question. On Android, I believe is there a swapping feature?
There is, yes.
But not on iOS, is that right?
Yeah, unfortunately, iOS has policies that you can only have swapping features inside of your phone if you are the swapping entity.
Oh, so that's a legal issue on that one then, really.
I mean, it's not even a legal issue. It's an Apple's own personal policy issue, and so they've rejected.
Same thing.
Yeah,
the Apple law.
Yeah, they're the lords of the land, and it's really stupid, and I don't like them very much. But it is the way that it is. Which is, unfortunate because that's our revenue stream. We're very transparent about how we make money. For the most part, we make money by getting a commission from every swap or exchange that goes through our wallet. So that was a big blow to the already teeny tiny war chest that we have. But we, again, want to walk the walk and make sure that everyone has the ability to transact with Firo. So when we're like, oh, we're not going to support iOS anymore, we're pulling it out of there. No, they still get it without the exchange feature. We make no money from it. It's a liability, but that's just the way that it goes.
What about
which is
the desktop wallet? Would that also apply to the desktop wallet on Mac?
No, because in theory you can just download a
extension.
Similar. Yeah. It's just like you could download Mac programs from the internet and put them on your thing. You'll be able to do something similar. What is kind of bizarre is like Exodus Wallet has exchange features, third-party exchange features built in. And it is third party, and they say so. The law is very unevenly applied. But I'm not about to go to them and be like, "Oh, report all these people."
Yeah, I wonder if they've maybe been grandfathered in. Maybe
that's probably very likely. It honestly also is dependent on the reviewer that you get, because every time you post an update, Apple has somebody, a person in theory, maybe an AI, who knows, look over it for things that they're like, oh no, we don't like this, and some reviewers are like, oh, we found this, we don't like it. For example, we had a funny story. Stack Wallet was on iOS for the past month and a half, couple of months, and approved. Every update we made was approved. All of a sudden, one of our updates was rejected, and they said it's not anything that we included in that update. They said you don't have the ability to delete an account, and I'm like,
you don't.
There are no accounts. we don't. There's no login screen. There's no username. Like no. There's no accounts. All keys are on devices. There's nothing on our servers. There's nothing to delete. There's no accounts to delete. I mean, like you could delete the information in the app, but and I sent that to them, and they're like, "You need to be able to delete the account." So I went back and forth with them for about 3 or 4 days. And each time is just like copy paste. Like, these people are terrible. I don't like them. Each time is just copy paste. You need to be able to delete an account to be, in compliance with our policy. So to this day on iOS, if you go into settings, you will find an option there that says delete account.
And I wondered what that was. I was like, what?
And there's an explanation there. Like, this will delete all of the information off your device. It's not gonna delete the account because there is no account, but it'll just take you back to the starting onboarding screen, I guess, with all of your wallets deleted. So, and then it was approved. It's there for you iOS people, not there for Android. Maybe it's a popular thing, and we'll put it on Android also to just delete the stuff on the wallet. But
I guess if you still got really the same worries with Android, but are they just more lax at the moment?
That's a good question. Apple tends to have a much tighter grip on everything because they make a huge amount of money from their app store. So, for example, in this exchange where we get a commission, they are completely cut out of the process. And they hate that because they charge like a 30% tax on all things that go on all purchases made through their app store, which is obscene. Most other places,
it's like the Fortnite lawsuit, isn't it? On that?
Yeah. Most other, people like Visa, MasterCard, from credit cards to PayPal to everything, they take like a 1 to 2% commission. Yeah, 3%.
Yeah.
30%. Many developers, when this was instituted many years ago, many companies basically went bankrupt overnight. Apple is a horrible company, and they are very bad for the ecosystem. They make great, beautiful user interface, and everything is connected and stuff. And their reasoning is that, we want to make sure like all the high quality stuff is here. Yeah, exactly. And all these
for your
things
safety and security.
Right. Which is what we hear all the time in regards to privacy and stuff. Like, you don't need the privacy because we want to make sure everybody's safe and secure and no terrorists are going to come. And so it's the same nonsense all the way down.
It's kind of like they take away all your freedom and you're supposedly more secure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now you're probably less secure, right?
More secure from everyone else, but not from the people in power, who are the people you should be concerned about to begin with.
Yeah.
So not to go too much into politics or
no.
ideology, but the ideology does color a lot of what we do, both at CipherStack and how we built Stackwall, and I know with you guys at Firo. So it's important to touch on these topics and to remind people why we're here. Number go up is nice. But we're here to ensure that if the people of the world need an option to keep themselves safe, not everyone is lucky enough to live in the first world. There is a number, probably most of the countries, under some form of stricter or at worst totalitarian government systems, that their lives could be endangered just for thinking the wrong way or saying the wrong thing. These are the people that we're building for. These are the people that we need to ensure, it's not just targeted ads that's going to happen if they lose their privacy.
In all fairness, it's the same in the US already. You say the wrong thing, you lose your job.
We are getting there.
So we're on the way. Okay, what new exciting features do you think, Diego, we've got to look forward to with the Stack wallet?
Just to let you know, on the Spark side, Lavon has started working on the back end for the mobile stuff for Spark. So obviously, we're very thankful for that. But obviously, because of the use of Spark addresses, there may need to be some UI changes. Obviously, I think we should make a CFC funding requests. Obviously, it's tough time for everyone, but yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? So many coins that we support have really, really cool features, and none of them are available on any multi-coin wallets, right? Litecoin, which we support, now has Mimblewimble extension blocks. The only wallet that supports Mimblewimble extension blocks is Litecoin's wallet, right? In addition, Bitcoin Cash has Cash Fusion, which is kind of like a
only on the Bitcoin wallet, is it?
Only their Cash Electron something. Like And Bitcoin has Whirlpool, which, you know, you got to get Samurai wallet for. You know, there's a couple of wallets that support kind of Whirlpool, and so there's all this cool technology that you have to have 50 applications for. Like, what if you just had it all, you know, on one application? Like, that's the goal here. I aim for the stars, and I don't have the funds to match my aspirations, but you know, that's the dream. That's what we want to see happen.
You're doing actually, I guess, on a relatively small budget, something that I've seen that I prefer over other bigger wallets, well-known, well-established, mature wallets. I actually prefer this layout. It's
shocking, isn't it? Shocking. These multi-million-dollar projects put out this stuff, and you're like, this is bad.
Edge Wallet actually got worse.
I haven't messed much with Edge Wallet. Oh, because I downloaded Edge Wallet, and the first thing I saw was a login screen, and I'm like, no, that's okay. Uninstall. I know they're also open source, so no hate on them. I love
Apple
any
likes them because you can delete your account.
Maybe that's why they put that
that's
in there.
That's why they got their by exchanges.
I know, like a side note was like actually our first wallet for Firo with all these privacy features was supposed to be with Edge Wallet, and we spent about a year of working together with them to build this like, you know, Lelantis supported wallet. I don't know whether it was Lelantis or Sigma. Then I can't remember.
I think it was back. Sigma. It was Sigma.
Probably Sigma. And after that, we built everything. We got everything working. We had the code finish, and we're like, "Hey, can we deploy it?" And they were like, "I'm so sorry. We are changing our entire architecture." I mean, I love Paul. I love Edge. I understand why they did what we did. Obviously, we're a very small part of their business, so I understand it's a good architecture change of decision. But I'm like, you could have told us a bit earlier, because we spent, you know, so much time to build it. And that's why we went to build our own Android and iOS. Actually, we have it ready. It's just that we have a problem forming an entity to put it on iOS. But then, you know, since Stack Wallet is up and Campfire was soon going to be fixed, we put that kind of like low priority, because we were like, you know. We actually want to encourage like third-party wallets to kind of take away the load from the core team of maintaining all of this mobile wallets. Like, yeah, we can build you the backend and everything and help people integrate, but like doing the UI and stuff, I mean, we are not UI people, and I think it's great that, you know, like CipherStack is actually building this for us, and I hope people understand, because we're like, why shouldn't people use Stack? Well, why should people use the Firo official wallet? Because, well, it's completely open source as well. It still has kind of the same back-end ish for the core features, and it has a nicer UI. So I would say like our official wallet is more like a reference wallet. And, you know, hopefully, you know, like third parties like CipherStack and Stack Wallet can kind of like, you know, fill that gap and in a way take some of the load off the core team, which if you take a look at larger projects, they're like, oh yeah, you know, Bitcoin's so big, they don't have that much funding, and yet they do have quite a lot of funding, but, you know, comparative to their size, obviously it's not, but how they can continue building, or like, for example, like Monero, right? It's all through donations. How do they continue building their ecosystem? And the core team still keeps working and building up on the back end, but they don't have the resources to build every single wallet, every single implementation. And this is where like ecosystem providers like CipherStack step in. So I'm very happy to see this develop. Yeah.
Yeah, to build on that, Monero took years to get a GUI out. You know, they were CLI only for a long time, and they still haven't put out Android or iOS. And people were asking even after the GUI when I joined, like, when is a mobile wallet coming? And Moneruyo which was the first Android Monero wallet, happened by some guy who's like, oh, I'm going to make this, and he did, and it's still a fairly popular Monero wallet. And Monero, the core team still hasn't put out their own because that has been filled. And it's I completely agree that, especially if the wallets are supporting Firo's privacy features. It'd be one thing if everybody was integrating Firo and, nobody had any of the privacy features. Okay, no, that's not acceptable. But if there are the people that are committed to getting those privacy features in there, supporting the cool things that Firo does on a mobile perspective, then yeah, man, put your resources on doing that research and making the core utilities stuff much better.
These the lack of support in third-party wallets, really, you would think could be solved through competition, right? Through like, for instance, say a little small wallet started up and became successful that did support these features. You would think that market dynamics and pressure would actually drive progress into these third-party wallets to force them to support these privacy features if they become popular.
Yeah, that's kind of the goal here also.
So it's kind of like folks could get the Stack wallet and you're improving the entire industry and you're forcing these other third-party wallets to up their game and meet the demands of the market. Right?
Yeah, because you talk with these people with these wallets, and as many projects, Firo, Monero, have asked these people, hey, can we get this integrated? This is a really cool thing. And from a business perspective, we just don't know that it's going to, give us more users. It's going to help our bottom line. It's going to, all of these are very good, realistic, decisions
Reasons,
for a business to make. But the end result is that we as a community, a privacy community, are just lacking in the places where we need it the most. And so, got to have an idealist come up and take
from a business perspective. I mean, it's tough because also, okay, so one thing that people kind of forget is that when a wallet integrates a particular asset or coin or whatnot, there's not just the integration cost, but actually there are ongoing costs as well. So from a business perspective, you would want to make sure that enough people are using the wallet, or the community is large enough to be using the wallet and the swap features for it to cover the ongoing costs. And what this ongoing cost would be is, like, for example, just maintaining the servers in the back end, which is okay. It is some money, may not be a huge amount, but as it scales, of course, if there are more users, it's going to be more swaps. But what's a big chunk of the ongoing cost is that whenever we put out an update and stuff like that, some updates are harder than others, right? So, for example, from Lelantis to Lelantis Spark, it's a huge upgrade. It's like a whole protocol change. New features are being integrated, and the privacy features of Lelantis is being off. Are they going to say, "Oh yeah, all right, now that Firo is upgrading, we are going to stop and just remove Firo, or just keep the transparent addresses"? Obviously, that's not kind of acceptable. I mean, obviously it is understandable, but it's not great, right? People were using Stack Wallet and then suddenly they're pulled out. But from a business point of view, it actually, unfortunately, it seems to make sense, right? Like to remove that, or when we can get to it. So I'm really, really, appreciative of CipherStack, really supporting Firo. Did you receive any funding for this, Diego? I don't think so. No, this is completely funded by CipherStack. The only help that we did was basically, just with the backend stuff, which is our responsibility anyway. So, this is on CipherStack's dollar and stuff like that, and hopefully, once the stuff comes up and the CFC can consider some funding requests to add Spark support or some other improvements as well.
One shout out I do want to give is to Rasik, because Rasik was the one who helped us make Campfire, the predecessor to Stack Wallet, which an update is coming. It is in the works, and it does work. Only you weirdos have it not working. It totally works fine for me. I was using it the other day, and that had a lot of the Firo basis that we used for Stack Wallet, but we made also a lot of changes because they are for slightly different use cases. For example, Campfire, once you receive the money, it auto mints. And this is actually a very important use case for people, for non-tech people who are just like, oh, what is this button? What do these things do? How do I do this? If they want privacy, you don't want to have to write tons and tons of walkthroughs and here's what you do and here's how you do this, and they're going to get confused. Did this work? And then they're going to think they're safe and private and they're actually not. So Campfire actually has a bit of a more hardcore use case, which is you receive the money, it auto mints basically immediately, so you never have to worry. You're always 100% private. Stack Wallet does support transparent transactions. It doesn't auto mint. There's a button to easily auto mint, but it doesn't do that from an automatic perspective. And I will tell you, we have already got support requests where we're like, hey, how is this, are my funds private? It increases the complexity of the user experience to not auto mint because we have to show private and public balances. We have to show, how which one are you sending from, your private or your public balance, and so Campfire simplifies things in a lot of ways in that sense. So
I did enjoy actually using Campfire for that, because I'd have an address on there that I would just send a payment to and then send it from Campfire as my way of like privatizing my payments.
It was just super cool.
I was going to ask if you guys were going to be keeping up with Campfire, or if you guys were going to slowly phase it out because of Stack Wallet. So
no.
Knowing that you guys are going to stick with it, it's good.
Yeah, and Campfire is also going to be upgraded to Lilanta Spark, so everything's going to be kosher between the two. There are two slightly different use cases between the two wallets, so I think they're both important to have. Campfire is also Firo only; it's not multi-coin. And some people are maximalists, man. Some people, they don't want all this extra junk.
Have
they just
Firo maxis.
And so, huge shout out to Rasik for making that happen. And probably we reused a percentage of that for Stack Wallet. So when we say that we received no money, it's no money from Firo, and all the changes that we did from Campfire were on our own dime.
Gotcha. Right, I will say that's one thing we're looking forward to with Spark, because that should also improve the user experience in terms of having an address that you can hand out and receive money on, just one address if you want, and it's just always private. You haven't got to worry about it. It improves the user experience to a similar extent that, for instance, Monero is private by default, and you don't have that option.
I just wanted to quickly touch on that issue, but maybe Diego, you want to
no, I'm actually going to say something slightly different, and then I'll go back to you. Because of the funding stuff, on our website stackwallet.com, we have a page where you can donate in any of the coins that we support, and one of those is Firo. So all you people watching that don't do anything, you should send a little bit of money to Stack Wallet. Send $5, send $10, send $30,000. We would be very appreciative. Anyway, go for it, Reuben.
Developing our own privacy protocol is actually very, very expensive. And in a way, if you look in retrospect, it's not the most commercially sound decision, but because we are guided by our principles and our vision, we decided to do it. And despite being a relatively small project, even Monero is actually going to be using, a good part of our technology, like Seraphis, which is their upcoming next-gen privacy protocol. I think they're saying they'll be coming in the next 1 or 2 years, with their current roadmap. It takes a lot. Most of the key ideas in their protocol actually were inspired by Spark, our addressing system and stuff like that. So, I do think that we should support projects that, especially, I'm biased, of course, that actually push privacy development. And I do think that Firo is actually, in a way, punching way above its weight when it comes to privacy research and innovation in the privacy space, even if may not be the most profitable thing to do. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And that is one of the things that attracts me to this project the most, is that you guys are like, you know what? We're going to shoot for the stars here. Like, why dream little dreams? Right? Like, let's dream big dreams and let's make it happen. And like, yes, it causes a lot of stress and pulling your hair out sometimes. Like, how in the world are we going to do this on this budget with this tiny dev team? With the, like, how is this going to get done? But with the grit and the pushing and stuff, like, we push forward. And just this tenacity has just been so fun to be a part of it. It makes you feel like you're a part of something and making something happen. Super fun. I love it here. Tons of fun.
What's the web address?
Stackwallet.com. We also have a Tor address, which I can post somewhere, and an I2P address. And we're going to get Freenet up too. We're uber
Snazzy.
nerds. Yeah.
Bleeding edge.
Yeah, exactly. We're on Mastodon.
Excellent.
Download Stack Wallet, use it, donate. We got big things in mind in store, and we're gonna do what nobody else has the balls to do.
On that bombshell, bye bye for now.
See you, everyone.